So first of all, thank you guys so much for the love that you're giving to my last video. To be very honest, I feel like it was so important for me to say what I said because we need to stand against misinformation and we need to start advocating for people to really know what's happening and not just follow mainstream media. Hi, my name is KACHI OFFIAH and this is KACHI Live.
Hi, I'm KACHI OFFIAH, and you are welcome to the community.
So today I'm talking about Diddy, right? Everyone is completely stunned that Diddy's been arrested. Now, as an entertainment journalist, I've been chronicling everything that has happened for almost a year now, beginning with Cassie Ventura's case. So on this video, I'm just gonna break down what exactly is going on with Diddy and what is not. What is the truth and what is not the truth, and why we are all worried and talking about Burna Boy in all of this. So basically in November 2023, let's start from November 2023. I think that's the closest way to start this whole situation. Cassie Ventura, we all remember Cassie, right? The musician, sexy, bold, beautiful. You know, she was dating Diddy for a while. And we all thought everything was good, everything was fine. And then in November 2023, Cassie Ventura files a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. Now, this was over 70 pages of her accusing him of several issues. Him assaulting her, him beating her up, him making her do things sexually that she wasn't interested in doing, taking in substances that she wasn't ready to take in, stuff like that. And when the case came out, right, Diddy settled that case in less than 48 hours. Now, the essence of this video is I really want us to get into the mind of who Diddy is. I know you might know the facts, so I'm not even gonna bore you with all of that. Diddy is by far one of the biggest entertainers in this industry. You know, from Bad Boy Records to discovering artists like Christopher Wallace, that's of course the notorious B.I.G. With Bad Boy Records, I would say in the 90s, he was at the center of, till today, one of the biggest rivals within the hip hop music space. A rival that is unrivaled, that's how I'll put it, which is the battle between Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G., East Coast and West Coast rappers. And then of course, well, I should say West Coast and East Coast rappers because Diddy was East Coast, right? So, you know, Diddy is not a child. Diddy is not one to be messed with. You know, all the way back in the 90s, and he was producing epic records, you know, dropping chart-topping albums. He's in the Guinness Book of Records for his work as a producer. Like, he is that much of an amazing producer. So in terms of who Diddy is a legend. You know, Diddy is, when you think about the music business and his influence in it, he has created artists. He has made artists. His words have power because he's a sustainable artist. Let me put it that way. He's an artist that's been able to sustain himself, not just through music, but by venturing into other businesses like fashion, businesses like, you know, alcohol, you know, the deal that he had with Ciroc. He eventually wanted to build his own empire with Revolt. So, you know, Diddy is not a small fry. He is seeing a lot in this industry. Diddy was alive when Tupac was shot. And I will say till tomorrow that I still think that there's a lot we do not know about that case. Diddy has a lot of information. Diddy was alive when R. Kelly was being tried. Diddy was alive when Harvey Weinstein was being tried. Did he not know what the issues were? So it's important to get into the mind of a person like Diddy to understand that. I promise you, Diddy never saw this coming. You know, Diddy is a man who has evaded multiple arrests. And it's important to note that it's not about them being bad people. I see a lot of posts that say things like, oh, they found 1,000 baby oil bottles in his house. You will be shocked at the kind of freaky things some of these big men, powerful men are doing. I mean, a lot of them are bisexual. A lot of them are into child pornography, but you will never know. People have their demons that they're dealing with. So let's separate the issues here. It's not about Diddy having baby bottles. Okay, nothing is wrong until it becomes criminal, according to the law. Separating law and morality is crucial in matters like this. As much as there's a correlation, we have to separate being a morally upright person from being a criminal mastermind. If Diddy was just, having his fun, whatever it was, and it was, perverted, but he was just doing that without any criminal undertone to it, that wouldn't be an issue. The law or the feds are not looking at whether you're a morally upright person. Everybody does something wrong, People have a lot of demons that they're dealing with. But when it has a criminal undertone, it now shifts from the area of, are you a good person or not, to you are dangerous to the society, which is what the law is for, to maintain law and order, to maintain peace and sanity within the community. Now, why Diddy's case became criminal was the allegations of sex trafficking, which is one of the issues he's indicted on. Racketeering, which is he has an organization. Now, that doesn't mean that the organization is in the air. It means that this man has a business, but he's using his business to finance illegal activities. One of those illegal activities being trafficking women. That means they're taking women, cajoling them to go across the state borders to have sex with men for money. So you're using the funds from your business to do this. It's very important to separate the issue. So I see people talking about, this perverted man. You will be stunned. I am telling you this. You will be stunned at the things people are doing. Let's separate these issues. When his home was raided that was in March 2024, they took boxes and they found a lot of things in these boxes. Now, while they're giving out the information of what they found in the boxes, right? That doesn't mean that's the basis for his arrest. Everything that was found, there's some things there that led to this indictment in New York, but they're just letting us know. It's, some things are information that are relevant to the public's knowledge, right? And then some things are information that are relevant to the fact and issue. The issue here is the fact that Diddy was arrested on sex trafficking, racketeering charges, but we have to separate the both. It takes me back to President Donald Trump. Well, former President Donald Trump. I do not know why I just said that. Like, that was weird. Former President Donald Trump. Remember when he, had the hush money trial with Stormy Daniels, and then everyone thought it was because he was having sex with Stormy Daniels, but it had nothing to do with that. It was not about that. Paying the hush money to Stormy Daniels was not a crime, because if you're going to pay hush money and both parties are consensual on that payment, it's not illegal. It becomes illegal when that money that is being paid is either, some form of bribery, or in Trump's case, he paid the money through his lawyer, Michael Cohen, and he didn't just pay the money, to Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen gave Stormy Daniels $130,000. He paid Michael Cohen back over $400,000. And the money that he paid Michael Cohen, part of that money was potentially funds that were supposed to be used for his campaign. Now, that is the point where it became an illegal transaction. So the issue is not, did Diddy have sex with this person? Did Diddy not have sex with this person? Did Diddy have sex with a man? He did not. That's not why Diddy is being arrested. And I think it's important to point, it's not because Diddy's having sex with weird people and having sex freak parties and all of that. That's not the issue. The issue is, what is the criminal undertone behind every morally wrong thing that Diddy does? Because I feel like as human beings, especially with entertainers, everyone is so quick to just point fingers and be like, you're a bad person because you do this and because you do that. A lot of people are on drugs. A lot of people are doing crazy things just to stay sane. I am not defending it, because I would never do that. But when these people are arrested, let's know what they're being arrested for, so people are properly educated. It's because when you're doing these things and then you now make it a criminal activity, sex trafficking is criminal. You can't do that. Think about it this way. Cassie Ventura sued him in November. After Cassie's case, we had about 11 other people come out, including a man, Lil Rod, who's a producer, who accused him of several issues, including coercing him to have sexual relations with people that, he really wasn't interested in. A lot of those cases even had the statute of limitations cancel them out. They were almost dead on arrival, So, while for those people who are suing Diddy, they might feel like, okay, yeah, I've gotten some type of penance. Like, okay, at least he's been arrested. Not all of those cases are the reason for his arrest, but it definitely stoked the fire. Listen, I don't know what's going on ever since 2000 and I would say 19, but a lot of information that the feds have been gathering for I'll say 20 years is coming to light, and I am so grateful I am in the generation that gets to really, really see these issues happening. Apart from Diddy's case, the Tupac case is also coming up as well. It's coming up in November. The official murder for the trial of Tupac Shakur. I will do a separate video explaining how we got to this point. But I'm going to wrap up this video with this, right? Diddy did a lot of terrible things. He did a lot of terrible things, and I don't see him coming out of this easy. I feel terrible. Kim Porter died, and then, everyone was sad about that, and now he has to go to jail. His daughters, the twins, the new baby. I feel for those people. I do feel for them, but I think it's important that these powers that be understand that you are not untouchable. And that's really what this tells us, that no matter how untouchable you think you are, when you go too far, you will go too far. Now, to people who believe that Burna Boy may be getting into some type of trouble, I want to just ask you, what's wrong with you? What are you? I'm almost like, I don't even know what to say to you, because what is the relationship? Is Burna Boy the first Nigerian to have a Grammy Award? What is going on? What is the problem? So because Diddy worked on the Twice as Tall album that got that, it's so impossible for Diddy. Listen, if you did not hear me the first time, I said Diddy is a Guinness World Record holder for his work on production, music production. He's an epic music producer. The most talented people, geniuses, check around the world. Look at R. Kelly. The geniuses in entertainment always have these demons that they fight. But I don't think that, Burna has anything to do with it, or that I was saying something about Burna Boy being gay. I'm like, are you even normal? What are you even typing? It's so scary, the nonsense people are chugging down. Burna Boy has nothing to do with this. He produced his album. That was a business relationship. They had a respectful one as far as the public knows. Whatever private or intimate details of that relationship, as long as it was nothing criminal, I don't know what Burna Boy's business is. It's like we just like to kick ourselves in Nigeria. What's the beef with Burna Boy's album and the Grammy that he won? I don't get it. As for his other associates, that's Diddy's associates, whoever attended any of those freak parties, there's pictures circulating of Jennifer Lopez being at the party and several other people. If they just attended a party, okay? They just attended a party. They may be called in as witnesses to this trial. But again, remember, the key word here is criminal mind. Whatever he was doing, it's not so much about the act. It's the elements of a crime in that thing that was happening that they're looking for. So the prosecutors have to now prove beyond reasonable doubts that this thing Diddy did at whatever point in time was criminal, because there was criminal intent. There was, you got to prove that. That's it. So I hope we get it. We're going to see how this case progresses. Diddy is currently behind bars. Right now, prosecutors are looking at least 50 different witnesses, 50 people that they know for a fact will testify. And that's one of the reasons why they do not want to let Diddy out on bail, because they feel like if they let Diddy out on bail, he might tamper with your witnesses, and they do not want any of that happening. So Diddy has to stay behind bars while all of this is taking place. Now, one might think they're clamping down on all the black men in the industry. I'll be honest to say that at a point I was feeling the same way too, but then I think of people like Harvey Weinstein. I think of people like Jeffrey Epstein. these people equally had so much power within them, within their spaces. And we see how their cases went. Jeffrey Epstein eventually committing suicide, which is why, of course, Diddy is equally on a suicide watch, and Harvey Weinstein still fighting for his life behind bars. So I don't think it's clamping down on powerful Black men. I would just say that, first of all, what goes around definitely comes around. That's a fact that is so scary. And second, a lot of powerful people in this industry need to understand that the times are different. It's not like the 90s. Imagine if there was social media during the time of Tupac Shakur, during that entire beef. Imagine if it wasn't just about the rival gangs, you know, the Compton Bloods or whatever. It was actual fan bases that were involved in these conversations as well. I think a lot of things would be different. So we're not in those days where you just do what you want and think it's okay and you can get away with it. No, people are watching you. And with the Me Too movement, people are also getting their voice to say, I will talk about it. And I'm not just going to talk about it, I'm going to put it on blast, on social media. That's the whole idea of the Me Too. It is Cassie Ventura taking that bold step to share her story, and every other person after her, all 11 people, coming out to say Me Too with their own stories. So while those cases did not lead to this, there are elements in those cases that would aid this case. And it's not about Diddy's freaky sexual fantasies. That's not why he's in prison. It's about the criminal intent behind everything that he was doing and how those things that he did basically are against the law. And that's why they arrested him. Yeah, that's basically what I know, and I think is important to note about this case as we just move on with it, because we will see a lot of different sides to this story. A lot of people want to make it look as if it's just about him being, you know, sexually interesting. I wouldn't even call him sexually, because again, this industry is so weird. Like, you have a lot of different problems that people don't even classify as problems. So yeah, that's what I'd say. His interesting sexual freak parties, it's not about that. It's not about the baby oil. You guys, let the baby oil rest, okay? Let's focus on the main issues. And then bringing this back home to Nigeria, I think it's important that I do that. We may not have as much of a powerful judicial system, but one thing I do know for sure is we're growing, especially in our creative space. And if you are somebody who wields a lot of power, you might not even be a creative. You might be a politician or a business owner, a leader of some sort. And because of the power that you wield, you abuse and you think that you can maltreat young women and men who are vulnerable because they want something or because they need something. Your time is coming. I promise you, you're going to fumble. No one might be talking or taking any actions against you now because, you know, it's just vibes for you. There's really nothing, you've not done anything criminal. You can say it's consensual. However, you will do something wrong and it's gonna happen to you too. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please hit the subscribe button. I almost bit my tongue. Please hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram at KACHI OFFIAH. And my next video is going to be talking about the murder trial of Tupac Shakur 27 years after. Gosh, there is so much to unpack there. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and bye-bye.
Hi, I'm KACHI OFFIAH, and you are welcome to the community.